Okay. World Water Day, that is, United Nations had taken this as 22nd March, declared it as World Water Day. On what, that is, by taking the Sustainable Development Goal. What does the Sustainable Development Goal 6 says? Everyone should have access to sanitation and clean water by 2030. That is the purpose of the Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, then World Water Day 2023 theme says that accelerating change. Okay, World Water Day theme of this year is accelerating change. To accelerate the change required to solve the water and sanitation crisis, the theme signifies the importance of appropriately using water in humans and daily needs. Okay, that is importance of appropriately using water in human daily needs. Okay, what happened in Telangana, you know that Mission Bhagiratha is there, which supplies water to almost all people. Okay, that is a free supply of drinking water is there. If you learn the theme of this World Water Day every year, you will have some knowledge of it also. Accelerating change, as we said, previous 5 years. For example, last year, groundwater, making the invisible visible. Okay, the groundwater was taken as a theme in the last year, whereas 21 says valuing water. You have to value water. Okay, water and climate change. 2020 says that water and climate change is the theme of World Water Day 2020. 2019, leaving no one behind. Nature for water. Okay, 2018. Next, according to United Nations, 14 lakh people die every year due to diseases caused by lack of sanitation, hygiene, and clean water. About 25% of world's population does not have access to clean water, and nearly half of the global population lacks sanitary restrooms also. The global desire for water is anticipated to increase 55% by 2050. Means more than the demand will be increased by 55%, means huge demand is going to happen in the next few years. Okay, water is essential for a day-to-day activities. Its appropriate usage plays a crucial role in managing freshwater reservoirs. As sir yesterday told that the freshwater content on this earth is very less. Accelerating change globally. Accelerate the change required to solve the water and sanitation crisis. This is the theme of 2023 World Water Day theme. Okay, last year, 2021 says that valuing water. We had to value water. Why to value water? Because this is the only planet which is having water. Is there any other planet having water? Is there any other planet having water? Okay, is there any other planet having water? We can say that it is the only water is present on this earth. Okay, for example, if you see this one, this map, it says that this explains that about Mars, presence of water on Mars. Okay, is this purpose of this one is to explain? Yes, Mars, Jadhav Vikram. Okay, you are very good. Okay, this is explaining about the presence of water on Mars, but it is not present also. Earlier it was present. Okay, then for decades, Mars is the planet where scientists try to find life. Okay, they think that Mars has water on the planet. Okay, they thought, but ever since the telescope was invented, astronomers see canals or canyons. There are some canals of water. Finding water is a huge deal because water acts like it dissolves in chemical reaction, which creates carbon-based life. If water is present, automatically we can expect the survival of life also. Why? Because if water is present, it is the hypothetical way of expressing the presence of water. Mars in the habitable zones, which makes it easier for extraterrestrial life to form. Okay, why? Because the presence of water itself is a indication that there may be some habitat. Okay, a theoretical band of what is habitat? Habitable zone. It is a space certain distance from the sun where the conditions are acceptable for carbon-based life. Mars and water. Why? Because Mars and water, this is a huge research area, okay, which explains the presence of Mars, the water on the Mars. There are, as we had seen just now, there are some canals. Okay, flood waters are there. Actually, in the ancient outbursts of flood waters are seen in the orbital view of thermal emission imaging system by satellite system of Odyssey. It was discussed. The channels are billions of years old and have likely been affected by multiple processes over time. Okay, it was explained that is a number of times that it is available in multiple times. Okay, here two channels are there. Okay, if you observe that Aries valleys on the right and few valleys on the left. Okay, then here, if you observe this one, there are two channels, there are two canals are there. This is one canal, this is one canal on Mars. Why? Because while dealing about water, we must know about what scientists are doing nowadays. Okay, then this is about that diagram that is present on Mars. Presence of water on Mars is exactly explained by this diagram, that satellite image that we had seen just now. What are the conditions? Just now we are talking about habitable zone. It is sun, a certain distance, there is a zone where there is every chance for the existence of water. Okay, water existence, there is every chance for the existence of water, it is possible. Okay, then here, this is the only area where it is possible. Okay, Mars and Earth especially is present in this zone. That is why we are getting water. Okay, how the water is formed on the Earth, that is also one of the major area of concern. How the water came onto the Earth. It is found that that is chondrite material, like material. Actually, there is some material was there, and it slowly disintegrated to form water. And sometimes comets also burst. Comet burst also release the water. Okay, there are so many theories. Exactly, it is not exactly discussed or proved, but it is found that there are many chances, theories are there where they are saying that there is some magic material known as chondrite-like material which released water simply. Okay, another one is a comet burst also is there. There is every chance for the comet burst, that is also possible. Okay, like that it is assumed that water is formed from the different ways like that. Now coming to the actual water. Okay, Earth is also called as blue planet. Okay, what is red planet? Red planet is, okay, that is Earth is also called as blue planet. It is also known as watery planet because 70% of its surface is covered with water. That is why it is bluish in color. Why? Because by scattering of light, okay, the color of the water will be observed as blue. That is why from the surface of the Earth or from above the Earth, if you observe from this above the Earth surface at a certain high distance, you will see that there is some blue ball. It reflects 1/3 of the sunlight. It receives the Earth's atmosphere, scatters the light, and creates a blue effect. So it is called as blue planet. Only planet having life is Earth. Okay, there are 3-4 spheres. Lithosphere is there, which contains solid Earth. Atmosphere is there that contains gases that surround Earth. Biosphere is there. Another one is hydrosphere is there. All water found on under and over the surface of the Earth. It is nothing but Earth surface system. Earth surface system is there. Okay, it is a the Earth surface system. We know that there are 4 spheres. Hydrosphere. We are talking about hydrosphere. Then hydrosphere means the presence of water. Okay, yesterday sir told that only 97% is not available for us for drinking or for using. Only 3% or 2.5% of this water is called as fresh water. Fresh water can be used for our daily purpose. Okay, water distribution is like this. Oceans and seas covers most of the water, whereas small quantity of it is like this. Out of this again, 2% are glaciers like Greenland and others. It is only 2% of it is glaciers. Groundwater is, that is 1% is groundwater. 0.1% lakes and rivers. Water in the atmosphere, 0.001%. Okay, this is the groundwater. Groundwater is also, we have to drill and take the groundwater. Okay, lakes and rivers comprise 0.1% and 0.001% is water in the atmosphere. Okay, this is about this presence of water on Earth. Okay, freshwater distribution on Earth also is available here. Water pollution is taking place, and there are many aquatic species. Nearly 1 lakh species live in the world oceans. Okay, then Asia comprises large quantity of water. Surface water contained by 42% of the total world is comprised only here. Okay, that is about the hydrosphere. Explanation of the hydrosphere is like this. Okay, and if you observe the water cycle, as sir told, there are 3 forms of water are there. Vapor is there, liquid form is there. Okay, and glaciers are there, or ice form or frozen form is there, cloud form is there. Okay, this is nothing but water cycle. Water from the oceans evaporate and they form clouds, and these clouds go and precipitate, means raining takes place, and through rivers again water goes to the ocean. But water pollution is taking place mainly because of the human interference. Because of the human interference, water pollution is taking place. Okay, again another histographically we can explain water. Fresh water is 3% of this fresh water. Okay, we are having groundwater is 30%, and ice caps is again 70% nearly. And of this fresh water again, we are having surface water. Surface water is there. Of the surface water again, swamps, lakes are having more amount of water, whereas the rivers are having only 2%. Generally, we assume that rivers is having the most amount of the water. It is not the rivers which is having highest quantity of water. It is nothing but lakes only. Okay. Okay, already most of this we had seen. When you see rain or above, you are watching precipitation in action. Where does precipitation come and why does it fall in different forms? Okay, it is nothing but a part of the water cycle. There is a cycle, just now I had explained. It is nothing but precipitation is nothing but part of water cycle is there. From the oceans, evaporation can take place, clouds condense. Okay, and they condense, and again that is move away up in the atmosphere. Finally, when they get cooled, they get precipitated, and this precipitated water again goes to the rivers, to the oceans, and finally it is done. Okay, water usage. Global annual water use is estimated to be 4,600 billion cubic meters, growing at a rate of 1% per year. Meantime, monthly water availability, about 3.6 billion people live in potential water scarce regions. Okay, potential water scarce regions, only 3.6 people will live. Okay, the 3.6 billion people are living in water scarce regions, especially in African continent, even our Telangana also, water scarce region. But now, because of irrigation projects, it is possible. For all water users, industry takes up to 20% of world's total water withdrawal. 75% is used by energy sector. Okay, 20% of water present on the surface water is used by industries only. Okay, now we are moving on to another area, another concept known as carbon footprint, and another one is Water footprint. What is carbon footprint? A carbon footprint is a measure of the impact of our activities. We are doing some activities. We are using power. But what happened? This power, they are cutting trees and burning the trees to form to evaporate the water in thermal power stations. Coal is formed like that. Okay, but therefore coal is burnt. This is going to create some atmosphere, or else cutting trees takes place. For example, in our college also, we are instead of cutting trees, what they did, they transplanted the trees. If you cut the trees for the sake of constructing a new building, that means you are forcing the carbon to release into the atmosphere. A carbon footprint, because of it is having some effect on the atmosphere. Climate change takes place. Okay, nowadays this is calculated on the basis of carbon footprint. Okay, for example, global emissions, there are some smoke is evolved. Okay, this is smoke. Therefore, they had to construct some trees. Why? Because it is having some CO2. Okay, this carbon dioxide, trees are the best sink for CO2. Okay, this sink means they absorb the carbon dioxide. Therefore, the carbon footprint will be decreased because of this CO2 is a pollutant. Okay, that in that way they are grazing. Means you have to plant some trees again. Some grass should be used. All the words that is about this carbon footprint. Are you getting my point? My dear students, carbon footprint is the effect of burning or polluting this atmosphere. Coming to water footprint. What is water footprint also is calculated. Water footprint of an individual is defined as the total amount of fresh water that is used to produce the goods and services consumed by individual as a result of its own consumption pattern and country of residence. Yesterday, Shukla sir asked you, what is the water that is used in taking or making 1 cup of tea? Okay, he said that nearly 100 liters of water. We are thinking that it is just 250 ml of water we are consuming as tea, but it is not 250 ml. It is used, some of water is used also again in the production or in the cultivation of coffee or tea powder. Okay, tea powder is not simply grown on a one day. Every plant had to absorb some water. In that way, the total quantity of water that is used in producing goods and services that are consumed by an individual is called as water footprint. Water footprint will include different concepts. Green water. What is green water? What is blue water? What is gray water? What is virtual water? Green water refers to the rainwater stored in soil. Okay, there is some after raining, some the soil becomes muddy or clay or wet. These wet lands will have some moisture in it. The total water present in the sand or soil is called as green water. Blue water, fresh water from rivers and wells, and gray water. Okay, rivers, wells, everything that is the lakes, everything is having some water. Water bodies are having some water. That water is called as blue water. Then coming to gray water is polluted water. Our Musi river is having gray water mostly. Okay, virtual water is different. It is a concept to measure the embodied water of products or services in international trade. For example, you are exporting tea powder to Sri Lanka, or Sri Lanka is exporting some tea powder, or India is exporting some tea to America. Means it is not the tea powder that is exported, it is the gallons of water is also said to be exported. It is calculated in terms of water. This water is called as virtual water. What is virtual water? It is not actually water. Some good is converted into equivalence of water. For example, just yesterday sir told that there is 100 liters of water is used in the production of 1 cup of coffee or tea. That 1 cup, 100 liters of water is there. That is tea powder. Similarly, bunches or packets of tea powder is exported means gallons of water will be exported. That water is called as virtual water. Okay, in the food trade also it is used. Okay, when you are exporting and importing food, means you are importing and exporting water. Nowadays, this calculation is also used. Okay, then what is virtual water? It is a required water. The water that is used in the production process of agriculture or industrial goods. Two types of required water is there. Really required water, water used in exporting countries for production. Virtually required water, water needed in importing countries if the same amount of products were produced domestically. Domestically, if you want to produce coffee powder, how much water you have to use? That water is called as virtual water. Okay, then exporting countries for production. Really required water is exporting country. Virtually required water is nothing but importing country is to be calculated. My dear students, you must understand what is the difference between really required water and virtually required water. Okay, virtual water. Water footprint concept introduced in 2002. It is an ecological footprint, denotes the bioproductive area needed to sustain a population. To sustain a population, the water footprint represents the fresh water volume required. Okay, water footprint is used to that is fresh water required for production anything, for producing anything. Why? Because some poor countries are there. Okay, nowadays Sri Lanka is exporting tea powder, means it is not having enough resources. Therefore, they are calculated in terms of water and saying that okay, they are useful to analyze the condition of the people also, ecological footprint. Okay, how much fresh water of that area is used. In the early 1990s, the ecological footprint was reduced. Okay, about 10. Okay, anyhow, you got an idea about this virtual water. Okay, water footprint, everything, although both concepts, ecological footprint was the first term, later on it is converted into virtual water. Okay, our water footprint, 1 liter water is there. Okay, 1 liter tap water is there. 1 liter. 1 liter bottled water means 5 liters. Why? Because to make this bottle also we require 4 liters of water. 1 cup of tea means 30 liters of water is there. 1 cup of coffee means 140 liters is required. 140 liters. 1 kg corn, 900 liters. 1 kg wheat means 1300 liters. 1 kg soya beans means 1800 liters. 1 loaf bread loaf, 960 liters. Okay, that is 1 lemon orange, 1 orange fruit, 50 liters. 1 glass orange, 170 liters. 170 liters. 1 whole apple if you take, it consumes 70 liters of water. 1 glass apple, 190 liters. 1 dozen eggs, 2400 liters of water required for 1 dozen eggs. 1 kg chicken, 4000 liters. 1 kg pork, 5000 liters. 1 kg beef, like that. Choose more often to drink tap water, so that eat whole unprocessed food. If you go on processing food, means you require more water. And reduce your carbon footprint by buying local products. Okay, you must see what is meant by carbon footprint, what is meant by water footprint. In industry is emitting CO2, means it is a carbon footprint is developed there. Okay, it is increasing carbon footprint. To decrease the carbon footprints, what they have to do? They have to plant trees. Nowadays, a pollution control board is calculating on the basis of carbon footprint also. Okay, but we are worried about water footprint here. Okay, then this is about water footprint, global average. Again, the same thing is explained here. Water usage in Europe is more. Okay, per year, in more it is used in Europe, whereas many cities and other cities used more. Yes, especially in Western world, water footprint is very high. Water treatment process. Yesterday, Pathuru Srinivas Reddy had clearly explained sedimentation will be there, filtration will be there, disinfection by using that is a sludge, activated sludge, he said, pH correction, everything explained yesterday. Water quality standard. What is meant by best water quality? pH, drinking water especially, pH should be how much? Water quality standard should be 6.5 to 8.5 range must be there. Dissolved oxygen should be 5 mg per liter. Turbidity should be 5. Conductivity, should the drinking water should have conductivity or not? Yes, it should have conductivity. If conductivity is present, means it is having minerals. If you take rainwater, pure water, therefore rainwater will not have any conductivity. Why? Because there are no ions. Okay, alkalinity 100, sodium levels 200, BOD, biological oxygen demand 5, NO3 50, like that. This is about the conductivity or different parameters required for our drinking water. Okay, then coming to calcium is also required in our drinking water. That is also very essential. Okay, we know that there are many usages of calcium in our body also. Deficiency of calcium leads to osteoporosis. But what is happening? We are drinking water from buying outside. This RO water reserve, that is especially we are many shops outside, we are selling water bubbles that is not having exact amount of calcium. Because of this, they are having less number of minerals in it. Water bubbles sold outside are having less number of minerals in it. Therefore, okay, what happened there? Because of this one, osteoporosis. Okay, like complete sheath, a paper is there. This paper, if you observe, this paper is there. Okay, the bone will be like this. Okay, but if you no calcium means it will be completely less amount. Okay, complete pores will be there. Okay, it is having completely, this is called a osteoporosis. If you observe the osteoporosis patient, many holes will be there in the complete bone. As a result, what happens? Even a small crank or if they fall down from the step also, immediately fracture takes place. That is why drink tap water. We did an experiment before year. Okay, we did an experiment where we found that it is not it is found that water sold outside in retail through filter plants is RO water only. It does not possess any minerals. It can be treated as demineralized water. Okay, RO or mineral water calcium levels are less than 50 ppm in it. Okay, we had taken the samples from Amirpet, from Dilshid Nagar, 5 samples we had taken and calculated and calculated the different parameters. We had calculated all the parameters, pH, DO, turbidity, hardness. It is found that finally RO water is not suitable. Recommendation is that it is found that water sold outside does not possess any minerals. Therefore, we recommended for the usage of tap water, mineral water, metro water is the best water. Why? Because it is having exact amount of the, okay, this much, that is it is having exact amount of conductivity is 250. Okay, whereas ion levels are 200, like this. Alkalinity is 100. This is the water standard water that is required. Okay, what we have learned, my dear students? We had learned about what is virtual water, what is carbon footprint, what is water footprint, all those we had seen. Okay, because of this, what is the main purpose of water analysis is we have to save water and conserve water, because fresh water is very less. For conserving water, what we are doing is we are using water treatment plants. Okay, if anybody wants to unmute, you can unmute and talk. Any feedback also you can give. Is there anybody, students, who are willing to, or else anybody? Hello students, it is your time. You can ask questions or you can give your feedback, my dear students. Or else, at least it is you must tell whether the class is very good or is useful or something else. And you can unmute yourself and talk. Please be fast. Time is very less.
The class was useful, sir.
Okay, what you have learned in this class? Can anybody tell me?
The importance
Real
of
water, ritual water footprint.
Very good. Very good, Ramakrishna. Very good.
ఇంకా రెండు ఉన్నాయి సార్ లాస్ట్ లా.
Okay.
స్టాండర్డ్ వాటర్ ఎంత, దాని యొక్క క్వాలిటీ ఎంత ఉంటుంది.
Very good. Inka, Kayum, you want to tell something?
the importance of water and the hydrosphere along with its composition.
Yes, very good. We had seen even how the water had evolved on this earth. There are three theories: chondrite-like material, comet burst. Okay, all this happened, and we had compared with Mars also, extraterrestrial planet, Mars, red planet. Is it red planet or? Okay. Next, anybody? Manoja, Alia Begum. Alia Begum is there? She is absent, I think. ఇంకా ఎవరు విక్రమ్ ఉండగానే వాడు రాస్తున్నాడు ఇంతకుముందు. జాదవ్ విక్రమ్, మాట్లాడు విక్రమ్. యూ కెన్ అన్మ్యూట్. యూ కమ్ టు డిపార్ట్మెంట్ టుమారో ప్లీజ్. విక్రమ్, హలో విక్రమ్. Which group does this Vikram belong? Can anybody tell me?
Microbiology, biotechnology, sir, maybe.
Okay. Is he our college or outsider?
Our college student only, sir.
Okay. Vikram, please come and meet Yadaya sir tomorrow. Okay. Then Manoja.
Yes, sir.
Good
evening.
Have you heard the class or is it boring?
No, sir, it's really interesting about our footprint. We have learned something new today, sir.
Okay, thank you.
That we don't know. Okay, we have known when the World Water Day is celebrated and what are the things that have done every water day from 2023 to 2010, 2000. So we have known what are the things that have done in every year on the day. Okay, we have learned a lot, sir, today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You really gave a valuable information today.
Okay. Tomorrow
That we
also
don't know.
there is another class that is planned by some of our lecturers, or one guest will come. We will take the class.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, one and all.
Okay.
Thank you, one and all. Madam Vasanta, madam, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all students.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay.
Regarding internal
Good evening,
exams.
Huh?
Internal exams.
Internal exam.